For someone trying to lose weight, should they focus on weight loss or fat loss?
The quick answer to that is always fat loss. But, when you come to a weight loss clinic, you're getting on a scale and you're looking for that number to move. It's really important for us to help our clients and for the client to understand that what you lose through the process is more important than how much you lose through the process. If you lose equal parts muscle versus fat versus if you're capable of doing it 100% fat over any muscle, I would take the 100% fat over muscle versus equal parts of fat and muscle. And the reason being is that the muscle is the horsepower behind our bodies, right? So if you have a higher amount of muscle mass, meaning your body has a higher horsepower, then you can consume more fuel and burn it off faster versus a person who has less muscle mass comparably. When you're losing weight through the process of a diet and you're simply focused on just losing weight, the problem with that is that you're typically going to sacrifice muscle in your goal and your quest to just lose the pounds. The end result in that, when you go back to normal life after dieting, is you're going to end up putting the weight on very fast. And the yo-yo dieting of losing 30 and putting back on 35 becomes an unfortunate reality. If you can somehow slow the process down and allow yourself to be okay with losing a slower amount of weight, but focusing primarily on fat loss through the process, yes, it may take you longer to get to the finish line, but you'll be able to stay at that finish line for a lot longer after the fact. And this is obvious when you look at a male and a female who typically lose weight together, a husband and wife couple. Unfortunately, for the ladies out there, I'm going to tell you, your husband or your male counterpart is going to typically lose weight faster because he typically has more muscle mass, and that muscle mass is allowing his system to burn more weight faster, because his muscle mass carries that more horsepower, and that horsepower is allowing him to get through those incoming energy sources, the food, a lot faster. In the end, focus on losing fat through exercise, through diet, obviously through the proper nutrition channels, and don't be solely focused on how many pounds does your scale say every single week. I know it makes us feel good. I know we congratulate you on a 3 or 5 pound weight loss every week, but in the end, it's really important to pay attention to fat over muscle.
Yeah, when I was a personal trainer, there was a client of mine who trained with me right up until moving to America. He was training for 2 years, didn't lose a single kilo. Australia, sorry, not pounds. Didn't lose a single kilo the entire 2 years he trained with me. But what had happened was he dropped 3 or 4 pant sizes.
Yeah, there's a reason why we do the measurements at the beginning. It's a reason we do before and after photos at the beginning. There are clinics that do these different measurements of these bod pods and these InBodies, which are different brand names of these devices that measure body fat, which, to be honest, I'm not very sure of their quality and consistency that they actually are.
Yeah, they're not good.
Because to some degree, there's a lot of other influences that can alter the number. But if you lose 2, 3, 4, 5 inches in your waist, and for men, if you can actually gain a few inches maybe in your shoulder span and whatnot, and you're going to the gym and you're noticing your clothes is fitting a whole lot different, and yet maybe the amount of kilos or pounds that you lose isn't as significant as you hope, nobody knows your weight besides you and the person who's weighing you. But if somebody sees you in the grocery store, they're like, oh, wow, you look fantastic, or you put on that outfit and it fits you so much better, then that's what people see. And that's what you should be proud of yourself, is that you look fantastic and you feel fantastic. And that's so much more important in the end.
And on the topic of muscle and weight loss, can you run me through the reasoning behind what's happening with what they've coined Ozempic face?
There's always a name that goes behind any dietary program that's happening. So this just happens to be the one that's in the media right now. Anytime you go into a very calorie deficient state, because our bodies are programmed to get rid of the kind of heavier item on the list of things that consumes calories, which is our muscle, in a survivalship state, your body's going to burn up muscle tissue before fat. So what Ozempic or semaglutide or tirzepatide or Mounjaro, all these drugs do is they allow you to diet a lot more aggressive and easier. And so if you're eating a very low amount of calories to a point where you're starving yourself, the drug doesn't help you find muscle over fat. It's just making you eat less. So if you're eating such a degree lower that you're losing a very aggressive amount of weight very quickly, you're going to lose structural fat and muscle mass faster. So that Ozempic face, which is where you look that gaunt, kind of hollowed out look in your face, that healthy fat that you're trying to keep and look, you're going to lose all this fat in your face in addition to on your stomach and abdomen. You're going to lose the muscle mass in your shoulders and your legs and your butt. They have Ozempic butt, by the way, as well.
Oh, really?
Which is where you lose all your butt and
That's
your legs.
terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, like if you're losing a little bit of everything or a lot of everything, it's going to be taken away from equal parts all over your system. I've seen people who have lost so much weight that they lose the fat in the pads of their fingers, and their fingers get almost hollowed out looking, and the bottom of their feet. So, the body is not going to not lose it in particular areas. It's going to kind of evenly displace that. If you're using semaglutide or Ozempic or Wegovy or Mounjaro or tirzepatide, remember that you can't just starve the weight off for a healthy outcome. You still have to have a proper nutrition plan, which is one of the reasons why I urge people to go to a clinic like ours, because we have the education to walk you through a proper diet to allow you to lose primarily fat during this process.